Nice try. You're not on the list. Introducing Seal. Decentralized data security. Robust encryption and on-chain access policies. No heavy infra, no custom tooling. Gate content to verified subscribers. Lock auction bids until the time is right. Keep sensitive data for AI sealed and private. Make privacy part of public infrastructure. Start building with Seal.
Hi everyone. So I'm just sharing my screen here. Cool. Right. So thanks for joining in today. I'm Abhinav Garg, Platform Product Manager at Miston Labs. Today's session is the AI edition of our Seal live stream. We did one last week with some amazing partners and are back with some of our awesome AI partners now. So Seal is now live on mainnet, and we'll show how it fits cleanly into AI systems along with when you store data on Walrus. We'll do a quick overview recap of Seal and then hand it over to these amazing AI launch partners. So we have Spiro, who is the founder and CEO of Zarklab, David, who is the head of business development at Inflective AI, Roger is the co-founder of Diffusion AI, and Nick is the head of engineering at Flock.io. And we also have Casson with us, who leads the product marketing for Seal, Nautilus, and more at Sui Foundation. So a quick recap. At a high level, Seal is decentralized secrets management with programmable on-chain access control. You encrypt data once, and you use smart contract-based policy to decide who or what can decrypt, including humans, services, or AI agents, and when they can do it. It works great with Walrus. Put your datasets, embeddings, or artifacts there, and let Seal control access without handing keys around. At its core, Seal lets you encrypt at rest and unlock just in time. AI agents can pull only what they are allowed to see and when they are allowed to see it. You can have access policies that you can reason about, including time box trials, pertinent rules, org-wide licenses, all enforced on-chain. There is threshold resilience, that is, there's no single key holder, and a threshold committee reduces single points of failure for sensitive model or data access. It allows for auditable flows that are helpful when you need a trail for compliance or partner reporting. Overall, you get end-to-end encryption, performance access, programmable access, and no single point of failure. So what's possible with Seal for AI? You can control who can access training data or model inputs, outputs based on on-chain rules. So encrypt on Walrus, and enforce who can decrypt with Seal policies like per tenant, per time frame, or per role. You can share encrypted model parameters or inference results only with authorized consumers. So it's great for subscriptions and data licensing, where Seal handles gating and revocation on Walrus space storage. You can also allow Nautilus-based AI agents to access private user data only with consent. So agents can request just-in-time decrypts via Seal, and users can grant or deny access. You can build multi-party data rooms, including Nautilus, where organizations can collaborate by using a Seal threshold committee to handle the trust layer. So what's new with the mainnet? It has been, or it was on testnet for a few months. We took it live on mainnet just last week. So it is production ready. So that is, you can use Seal in real live AI systems today. We have multiple verified key server providers. So you can build robust threshold committees without relying on a single provider. One can build on-chain decryption flows for pay-to-decrypt, attestations, or verifiable AI pipelines. And updated docs are available on Walrus sites, the link that you can see on the screen. We are ever so excited about the builder launch partners. We have got some fantastic teams, including Inflective AI, Zarklab, Diffusion AI, and Flock.io here, who are already building. You'll hear from them today, and their ideas really show what's possible when you put Seal into the hands of innovative AI builders like them. Um, and of course, Seal is only as strong as the network behind it. So we have 7 verified key server providers supporting mainnet, and more to come soon. They're all sort of really amazing, robust partners in the overall Sui and Walrus ecosystem. So you can mix and match them to form your committees, which gives you resilience, decentralization, and peace of mind. All right, so we are now at the fun part. The presenters here will walk you through how they are using Seal to create secure and user-owned AI experiences. Uh, I'll close my screen. To begin with, Roger from Diffusion AI will provide a glimpse into an innovative AI product and how Seal fits the bill along with Walrus. Roger, here you go.
Cool. Hey, thanks, Abhinav. Thanks for that kind introduction. Yeah, we've been super excited to build on Seal. We've also been benchmarking different protocols and modular storage spaces with federated functionality. And so, yeah, Walrus and Seal really fit the bill for what we're trying to do. And so, just a brief introduction about Diffusion is that we essentially are a protocol to source and synthesize data into high performance AI assets. So we use a lot of data. We take data sets, we enrich them, we curate them, and what does that ultimately mean for model builders is that it's faster to train, higher model accuracy, and also in creating different types of data sets on demand based on rubrics that folks want. And one of the protocols we've been involved with is on Vanna, where we have our social truth DLP. We've already aggregated where our social truth DLP is focused on aggregating private Telegram chat data, which we then anonymize and put into the Vanna data access layer. But we thought, okay, so this is a data DAO on Vanna where we basically anonymize private chat data for use in AI training. But we thought, okay, why don't we take our data DAO a step further? And why don't we actually have it have all the data that's being aggregated or people's contribution of their private chat data usable by folks to essentially understand what's happening in all of their private Telegram chats and essentially turn all the chats into a kind of an AI agent. So right now, our protocol, so this dApp, you can go and download it on our website from the Diffusion AI. I'll give you a glimpse of, so whenever you donate, whenever you upload your Telegram chats, you earn VFSN token, which you can actually change into Vanna on our data at datadex.com, and you can kind of get a glimpse of how the vFusion token is performing. So you essentially are earning for contributing your user-owned data. And we wanted to make another use case for this VFSN token, which is, as I mentioned, why we're using Walrus. And so to give you a glimpse of the app, I'll just go do a brief kind of overview of the app where you can choose all your Telegram chats, you can kind of upload them, and then we've just added Private Lens, the Private Lens AI, which is an AI trained on the Telegram chats which you have uploaded into Walrus and Seal. And because it's using Seal, you can trust that it is all private and confidential in a secure enclave that folks will not be able to kind of, well, it's not public to the, it's not public to the entire world, essentially. If it was on something like a Filecoin or something. In the interest of time, it does, we are working on kind of ironing out enough kinks. We just released the beta version, but we can, I'll show you essentially how it would look like. Essentially, you can basically ask your AI any chats, and on all the chats that is aggregated that you've uploaded, it will basically do summaries. So this is one of the first functionalities we're going to be offering through the bot. We do have bigger plans for adding more functionality on sentiment analysis and much more, and kind of trending topics, or kind of using it as a personal assistant to essentially say, oh, who should I follow up with after a large conference? or summarizing different large group chats, etc. So we do have those plans, and so yeah, this is, I think, quite exciting for us. This is the first time we kind of announcing it to the world, so be good for it. Anyone can, go on, download it, download the app, start playing around with it, give us suggestions, give us feedback. We are in an iterative kind of development loop, and so from there we also plan to take the rest of what we're doing with using Walrus and Seal on our social truth DLP to our main protocol, which is all different types of AI data assets, which we're aggregating, synthesizing, validating, and curating. So yeah, that is a brief overview of what we're doing. Love to save time for questions.
Great, thank you so much. So I'm curious, because obviously you mentioned this app has been out in the world and you've been building previously, and you're now moving over to build with the Sui stack, particularly with Walrus and Seal. And could you share a bit about the process of building with Walrus, Seal, and the rest of the Sui stack, and also the benefits that you're finding from using Seal in particular when it comes to your new product offering?
Yeah. So we thought the development was actually pretty straightforward, pretty seamless. The Walrus and Seal team has been super supportive. If like our team is very familiar with AWS, so using that was an easy crossover to learning Walrus and Seal. And yeah, in terms of the kind of, I think it's really important for us to choose a technology that has that we could federate the data and have that's actually in production or plans to be in production, right? Because as we know in the decentralized and Web3, sometimes is not everything you see is real, right? And so we wanted something where, and also there's a future behind it, where there's a community and folks are serious about creating federated, secure, and private decentralized storage enclaves. And because we're dealing with sensitive data assets, for example, user-owned data, these are your private Telegram chats. If you're going to be asking it questions and running an AI on it, whether using Nautilus and Seal, not only did we want the confidential compute, but we also wanted the secure storage where a user can be rest assured that, okay, there is security behind his, personal data, essentially. So I think there's a bright future between Diffusion and Walrus and Seal, and we're just at the beginning. So yeah.
Awesome. No, thanks so much, Roger. I'm in a very fortunate position looking at various partners that we work with, and some of their use cases have overlaps, but there are very subtle differences. Like in the last live stream, we had Lock-in-Bot team join in, and they are building a Telegram-based agent or a client app, which is also using Seal, but it's very much for sales and BD teams out there. But your use case, even though it uses Telegram chat, secures them, puts AI on top of it, it has a different audience, and or let's say a different kind of audience, different kinds of use cases. So these are all very exciting, to see. And thanks for sharing what you're building and how you're building. I know you have to drop off for a critical meeting, so please feel free to do so, as it makes sense. We'll now sort of move on to Spiro from Zark Lab to talk about the exciting capabilities they are working on. Here you go, Spiro.
Everyone, thanks for having me. Very excited to be working on Walrus and Sui and Seal. I'll just give a quick intro about the company, and then you kind of know where I'm coming from. But the team constantly looks at data. So the whole company is focused around building an AI. Slightly different from the kind of AI models that you see in the market today. So a couple of key focus points for us was, if you're going to be looking at large-scale transactions and large-scale databases in the hundreds and hundreds of gigabytes, trillions of transactions, the large language models of the market today have a lot of limitations, mostly around token sizes. And so what we wanted to focus on is, can we build an AI that allows you to bypass those limitations and be able to do that at speeds that are comfortable for people who actually work on blockchain? Because blockchains, especially Sui, process transactions in milliseconds. And if you want to analyze documents and transactions in the same kind of like milliseconds, traditional language models kind of struggle because it takes you like 5 to 10 seconds to do that. And then you're kind of limited to how many tokens you really have. And so we kind of went and said, like, let's try and build a completely new architecture on how AI can process information on blockchains. And so when Walrus and Seal were being built out, that was super exciting because we deal with massive amounts of data every day. And we really wanted to be like a partner to them and see how we can benefit ourselves and some partners who actually use Arc AI to build stuff on. And so that's kind of the genesis. Everything on Seal and I guess we'll break it down into like 3 key aspects. The one that's super important for us, because we have data or data that we've like developed ourselves, is making things by default private for us and only shareable to like our clients or ecosystem partners or whoever we're working with. And the same kind of applies for our clients. They have a lot of like legal documents, transactions, financial transactions that they want to keep private and want to share with only like specific teams who are working on those products. And so Seal was really critical to get it out there. The second one, I think, was, well, how do we store all this in a way that is very convenient for our AI to work with and can scale to the kind of like database sizes that we actually need? And so Walrus was kind of critical on that. And we're kind of seeing a bit how we developed it is really like you can throw in hundreds of millions of files, drop them instantly, upload them to Walrus, and our AI can then process them at the same time and organize them and structure them in different ways that you would like. And finally, the last component that's like important for our platform was, well, how can you kind of keep everything in that same ecosystem? So how can you not need to migrate out of Walrus or out of Seal to process, analyze the documents you've uploaded and do a whole bunch of things with them? And it's kind of how we built Zark AI to essentially be a platform environment that does all the compute for you, so you can actually process everything on Walrus directly. And so I'll go into a little bit about the integration. So the couple of key aspects that were super important for us to implement was like file security. So as I mentioned, a lot of the files that we store actually kind of need to be encrypted because they're confidential information, but we still want our AI to process and analyze those documents in real time. At the same time, we kind of want to be able to share those. So if we are creating like massive features around our data sets for analytics and we want to share those with companies to build off of them, we want to kind of restrict them for a certain period of time, or we want to kind of put the subscription where they have to like pay some amount in order to get access to that. And so that was critical to essentially get built out into the platform. Of course, none of that would kind of exist unless we had somewhere to store it. And that's where Walrus makes it very efficient over previous storage systems that we've essentially worked with or had to deal with. And it just made it very easy, even though everything you upload to our platform goes directly and stored on Walrus, because it can kind of parallel process. It works very well with our AI, where you could literally be dropping hundreds of gigabytes of files. The AI will tag them and process them as they're being uploaded on Walrus. And it all kind of happens instantly, which is not possible with a lot of the centralized players and platforms today. So that was super critical to as we're building it out. And so with those two kind of in mind, I just wanted to show a quick preview of what the platform would look like. So if you're using it today for a lot of our enterprise clients, you'd essentially come in, you'd be able to batch upload any number of files that you want. You would automatically get descriptions and tags generated around those files. So if you, example, had images and you wanted to label every image you have in your database and you wanted to create specific types of tags for specific type of users that might be interested in that content, the AI would do it for you automatically. And you can kind of decide how you'd want to profile that yourself. You also have the ability to kind of interact with everything that's happening on Walrus and those files directly through the AI content. So the process is quite simple. It's mostly like a drag and drop. So the moment you drag and drop, it'll get all uploaded, tagged, indexed, and you'll be able to search everything within your own storage as well as anything that's ever been uploaded on Walrus. So you'll have access to all that information within the search. You can define searches by tags that you've generated or descriptions that you've generated through the AI, or you can search it through stuff that we've automatically generated for you and then specifically pull up that content and that information. Now, once you have that and you essentially say you were searching for something in particular or like a code base that you're working with, and you kind of have all the relevant files that had that piece of code in it, your next step is essentially how do you interact with any of those files? And the way we've kind of done that is you can select one or multiple files. So you can select anything that's within the ecosystem, and you kind of have options of like, what do you want to do from there? Do you want to generate some, like, if you've uploaded like a lot of CSV files, you may want to generate like tables and insights of it. So instead of you needing to kind of do all the data analytics for yourself, clean out the data, you can ask the AI to kind of generate the specific table for you and it'll do it automatically. There's no limitations, as I said, around the tokens. So you can actually be running hundreds of CSV files and asking it to generate or do complex analytics for you directly on that. You can play around with images. So if you're working with videos or images, you have that direct interaction. And the other thing is, if you're actually a developer and you're building codes and you want to like store your code base on Walrus and then have an environment where you'll have an AI to help you build out that code, and then you'll be able to execute it directly in the platform and test it, well, you'll be able to do that directly here. And so those are kind of the things we've been building out together with Walrus and Seal to enable this. And I think as we're moving forward, is essentially we're planning to, within the next few months, kind of open it up to the general public, and most people will be able to have access to these platforms and play around with them. And so, yeah, that's just a quick overview of Zark Lab and what we've been working on. I hope you enjoy the session.
Thanks so much. I had a question, which I realized I was, reading about Zark Lab and some of the things you're producing. And I was curious, you mentioned on your site, I believe it was, about community search engines. And I was wondering if you could share with everyone a bit about how Seal can support the creation of a community search engine, what that is as well.
Yeah, so something we're really excited about, and I think kind of moves away from traditional search engines like Google. And even if you think about like ChatGPT or some of the other models that have come up, they essentially have the exact same site pages that are linked up and how they're connected, and everything is very general. So you're always getting searches and content based on like what's the most popular for everyone in the world. And so none of it is really personalized around search. Now with Seal, what you're really able to do is you're able to subscribe, or you're able to access specific content that is really tailored for you or tailored that you're interested in based off that. And then when you're running searches, you'll actually get personalized searches based on what your content was derived from Seal. So it's not like everybody's going to search for some bit of information and they're going to get the exact same thing. So if anyone goes to Google today and searches something, you're most likely going to get the exact same thing, especially if you're like in the same region. So with Seal, what that actually enables is that everyone's going to get their own personalized experience based on that search, and allow them to actually, they themselves tailor the kind of content they want to see with that. So I think that's going to kind of revolutionize the way search is really done.
I love it. Thanks, Pedro. I think I've told this to you earlier when we were like almost done with Seal, and we were like, I went to our leadership and said, hey, we now have Sui, we have Walrus, we have Seal, we have these amazing infra components of the stack. We should build something like a semantic search capability, and in addition to two other things. And we were like, I was mentioned by Roberto, hey, we have Zark Lab, they're onboarding. I'm like, that's amazing. So that's one problem already checked. So I love what you're building. Thank you so much.
Yeah, happy. I mean, you guys have done most of the hard work. I think we're just trying to make it easier and more accessible for everyone to like get access to the information they need on it.
Awesome. Cool. So we will now transition to David from Inflective AI to share deets on why and how they are integrating with Seal and Walrus for the data and AI platform, in addition to using other parts of the Sui stack. So here you go, David.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity to speak. I'm David, co-founder of Inflective, and I will walk you through what we have built so far, where we are at right now, and where we're heading. So yeah, Inflective is all about the data, and what we are doing, we are in essence liberating trapped knowledge, which is basically a data. So imagine turning your siloed data, whether it's PDF or SOP or research, academic research, for example. So you can turn it into structured tokenized data that AI agents can actually use. So this is what we're doing. And the problem that we found is that 91% of AI agents fail because they are fed with bad data, right? So I know from academic perspective, because I'm doing a PhD thesis, that if you put garbage in, you will get garbage out from a model. So Inflective fixes this. And how we do it, I'm going to just explain you in short a flywheel. So you upload data set on the Inflective app, structure it, you tokenize it, then you can deploy it to the AI agents or for developing new protocols, etc., and you monetize it. Okay, so it's really simple to understand what we are doing, and I'm going to share now a screen. I hope you see it. Can someone confirm?
All good, David.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to show you now how you can create your data set, and also how we are using Walrus and Seal in our product. So when you want to create a data set, you can upload your files, your PDF, CSV, doc. You can just use the links of the websites, or you can blend all the sources together. I'm going to just show you how to do it. This is all up and running, so you're all invited to try. So yeah, I can blend here all the sources for creation of my data set, and then I created. I did one data set before this call. I basically put Seal's website into it. So I'm going to show you how it looks like. Okay, so I added Miston Labs website and the subpage of Seal. So everything was analyzed, and then the data set was created. And this is, let's say, the first touch point where Walrus and Seal come in. Is so we use Seal for access control. So we are using token gate access. So for example, if you give me your Sui address, I can add you to the list, so you can access certain data set. And the Walrus play here is all the data sets are encrypted and uploaded on the Walrus. So it's really basically a core for our business. Also, we have agents, so I can interact and chat with data set I upload. So for example, I asked this data set, so what is this data set all about? And I got tons of information back. So for example, let's say that this is a really important and really valuable data set that devs can use, right? So they can interact with it, they can query it, and if they find useful, they can use it for further developments, for, let's say, developing new dApps or new AI agents. So it's really, really cool stuff. And also, when it comes to Walrus particularly, here is the, let's say, manage center for Walrus. So it's everything is written. So what the size of the storage that you are encrypted and uploaded to this Walrus. Also, you can here manage allow list. So again, it's a seal part. So as you see, a lot of things here, a lot of features are blended because yeah, we are early, but we are live and we are developing really fast with big picture in our mind. So there's tons of cool stuff coming in the next weeks, months. So yeah, and everything that we do is basically really user focused. For example, I have learned from my Web2 ventures that if you put the customer into the center, if you collect the feedbacks from them, so you empower them. So I'm empowering you all now here to try our solution Inflective, and to give us feedback will be really helpful, and we will of course implement all the interesting ideas. So I think that Web3 space is too small for a competition, so everyone is invited for this party, and yeah, let's go.
Thanks, David. So I was curious, how does your use of Seal help accelerate individuals' ability to monetize their data?
Yeah, so as I mentioned before, Seal allows us gate access using tokens. So we're thinking of different business models here, to be honest, whether it's going to be pay-as-you-go or subscription-based access. So with Seal, it's really, I mean, we haven't found easiest way to do it because it allows us to protect IP. Also it's really secure on 3 servers, decentralized. So it's really, let's say, natural partner to us, like Walrus, also Nautilus. We are planning to do cool stuff with Nautilus as well. So Sui, in general, is really like home to us. We got everything that we ask, so we really appreciate all the support from Walrus team, Seal, also from Sui Foundation, Miston Labs. So it's a really great place. I think someone before me mentioned that Web3 space can be really sketchy sometimes. So I really feel safe in Sui orbit, for example. I'm really hats off to all the teams building on the Sui.
Awesome. Yeah, we love that we are creating this safety orbit for everyone, for all the builders. Amazing. And I remember telling Aniko, who's your partner in crime here at Inflective, that I used to work at a B2B Web2 company building a similar data platform, and I always imagined what it could look like on Web3. So I love what you folks are building. So and wish that it can be as successful as that company has been now. So
yeah, if I have a minute, yeah, we do have here, let's say, 2 main segments. One is Web 2 and the other one is Web 3. So we have really great partners from Web 2 also lined up. I'm sorry, I'm under NDA, can't disclose, but those are really AAA plus players. They're really amazed of what we're doing from different areas, from marketing, from sports, from TV, everywhere where all the data is basically, let's say, all the industries that data really matters. So yeah, we're preparing a really great, let's say, bridge between Web 2 and Web 3. Like, we are kind of positioning ourselves into intersection of Web 2 and Web 3. So we do have prepared a lot of plans for both sides. So I'm really excited for the journey ahead. And yeah, everyone who's here, please follow us on X, join us in Telegram. And yeah, just like I said, I would really love to hear your feedback.
Cool. Exciting. Thanks, David.
Thank you for having me.
Right. So we'll now go to Nick from Flock.io, who will provide a glimpse into their fascinating AI platform and how Seal helps with their vision. Nick.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Nick from Flock.io. I'm leading the engineering team at Flock. I think today I will first go through, some brief introduction to the Flock platform itself, and then I will talk about like how we integrate SEO and Walrus into our federated learning solution. So basically, Flock we picture it as like Uber for machine learning engineers. So we currently have two major products and one product in pipeline. So two major products we are offering at the moment is AI Arena and FL Alliance. For AI Arena, you can almost imagine it as like a decentralized version of Kaggle. So if you are familiar with those kind of machine learning competition, so that's for it. So basically, different projects, different companies, when they have demand for certain domain expert model, small language model that can run on like their local device within their cluster, they reach out to us, and we will create those kind of tasks in the AI Arena, and the top machine learning engineers in our community will compete to build the best solution for them. So as of today, I think we already got like more than 20 World top 100 Kaggle in our platform. So it's a very strong and highly technical community we are having for the AI Arena. For the FL Alliance, FL stands for Federated Learning. So it's a technology that allows institutions and different organizations to collaboratively train a model without gathering their data together. So traditional machine learning, right? Like when you think of like how OpenAI trained their model, how Anthropic trained their model, right? They just collect, petabytes of text from all the internet, maybe sometimes from some weird place, and they got sued for that. We all know like the Anthropic mess recently. But there's no data privacy here, because the very meaning of this kind of training is that you have to gather all this data into a gigantic data center. You have like thousands of GPUs and training on that. For federated learning is a different approach of training model. So each participants, they are holding their own data within their own cluster or their own server, and they're training on their own data. The only thing got communicated is the gradient and parameter after each round of training. So Flock provided a permissionless architecture, a blockchain-based solution, so that entity and organization can join permissionlessly. And also we have a fully permissionless solution to help the joiner verify whether the data provided by other side is high quality or not. So basically they will vote and decide by themselves, instead of a centralized organization decided, okay, your data is better, your data is not that good. So it's all permissionless. As of today, I think there are already like tons of model trained on our platform, and they got implemented into different places. I think a lot of like a well-known Web3 project. Also, I think we are also focusing on the Web2 use cases as well. So I will just go through some high-profile achievement has been done. So the most recently we reached a collaboration with United Nations Development Program. So basically, government on different level of government, they all have like strong privacy requirements. So when we pitch into different countries, I think one major challenge is that first certain region, they don't even have access to the whatever OpenAI stuff. Also, many government department, they are not allowed to even share the data across different department, let alone across country or across jurisdiction. That is totally illegal and not doable. So they are very interested into the federated learning solution because it provides a way for them to build their own domain-specific model without facing a lot of legal challenge, right? They don't need to make new legislation to approve certain aggregation of data. They don't need to worry all about that. And so we United Nations UNDP basically becomes our partner, and they help us introduce us to all this different developing countries that require certain solution. Also, we have like use cases in AI gene science. That's a very well-known drug discovery company in Korea. So we are also working with them to adopt like a federal learning solution into medicine, because medical is also a very like sensitive area that data privacy is crucial. It's impossible for different hospital or different pharmaceutical to share patients' data, experiment data across jurisdiction, or aggregate into a central server. It's all against the law. Yeah, that's basically like some brief introduction to the platform and the federal learning solution we are building. So the demo we built for using like Walrus and Seal is actually highly relevant to the like medical fields. So this is actually the demo task we created is actually related to something we have done for a hospital about a year ago. So at that time, we were developing a glucose prediction model for hospitals in both Korea, UK, and in Beijing. So basically, they're all coming from very different jurisdictions. They cannot share the data, and we basically use our solution to help the 3 hospitals to collaboratively train a glucose prediction model. And that's also we also have like a publication on top of that. So we basically rerun this whole task with Walrus and Seal. So how we do it is that when different participants joining the federal learning training, one thing they need to do is that they need to basically aggregate the data, and they basically need to aggregate the data. The proposer need to train the model on their local data, and then propose the new weights to a place, so that the validators basically is a random group of the joiner pull the whole information and verify on their local data, right? So you can see there is a requirement on a aggregator, basically a place where you can store the intermediate state of the training, so that other people can verify whether I accept this round of training or not. So this is where we introduced Walrus. So previously, our solution for most institutions is that we simply leverage those kind of centralized storage like AWS S3. So at the beginning, we think, okay, it must be a pain in the ass for us to switch from a purely centralized storage solution to a decentralized solution like Walrus. But luckily, I think we are collaborating with like Nami Cloud. They built a abstraction layer over Walrus. So essentially, for a project like us, we will just switch the S3 like URL, stuff like that, create a new API key. It's just like using like AWS S3, like using like Google storage engine or whatever. So they provide a really nice abstraction, so we can easily integrate into that, right? Then the problem becomes, okay, now we are using a decentralized storage, right? Like everything is on chain, like everyone, just like Filecoin, right? Like you can access to the intermediate states of the training freely, right? Everyone can access that. So that becomes another challenge, because even though we already, even though like no original data is shared, but people can still try to reverse engineering the intermediate state of the model, so that they try to analyze or reverse engineering the private data originally, right? So we need to find a way so that only institution that has joined this training, for example, that's 3 hospital, 4 hospital, can access to the training itself. That's where Seal come into place. So we basically leverage Seal to encrypt all the model parameter before we upload to the Walrus storage. And the only address allow this, which is this 4 hospitals that joins the training, is allowed to have the secret to encrypt the parameter. So this actually like resolved the challenge of deploying federal learning to a decentralized storage solution. So previously, like I think many people are trying to do like ZK or whatever to solve this problem, right? But as far as today, as far as I know, I don't think that is scalable to the modern, large language model that we are trying to train or fine tune. It's simply too slow. But for SEAL, I think the overhead is pretty minor. It's totally acceptable. In our demo, like we were training a like 7 billion QN model. And I think it works pretty well. We don't notice like a significant delay in like due to the encryption and decryption. So I think it's really like a easy integration for us. I think I posted something like a couple weeks ago, like the whole integration like only take our engineering team like less than a week. So I would say like a really great design architecture, a really good SDK. Well documented, and to be honest, like our engineer working on this side, like we don't even use Sui before, like, but they only like spend a week to figure out like how to get things done. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good experience.
Thank you, Nick. Are you done, or do you have more?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. Well, I had a question and it's kind of maybe for people like myself who aren't deep in AI. What do you see as the biggest benefits for like end users, or who are the end users of federated learning AI models, and what do they benefit?
I think as of today, the end user is still mostly like a Web2 focus. As I mentioned, like we mostly working with government level organization, hospitals, pharmaceutical banks, finance institution, those kind of company. They are the I think most of the data they hold are highly sensitive and under strict a law, privacy law, GDPR, those kind of stuff. So why we want to use federated learning, I think is the answer is pretty straightforward. So nowadays, in terms of, we all know like data is the new gold, the new oil, whatever, right? Like in the AI era, and there are only like two ways that you can actually make your data usable. So first is that you choose to sell your data to those companies, right? So basically, you are monetize your data by selling your privacy. So that is one way. But federated learning basically provides you another way. Is that okay? I host this valuable data. I'm a hospital. I'm a pharmaceutical, whatever. I have a lot of highly valuable data that OpenAI really wants, right? And they will pay any price to get it. But it's all privacy, right? I cannot sell it. I don't want to sell it, right? And federated learning provides a way for you to, even without selling those data to anyone, right? I can just host data privately, locally, and ask other hospitals, other pharmaceutical, other governments, or other departments to jointly train a model with me. And the final output is monetizable, right? Which is the LLM itself, is the AI model itself. So this is basically provides a new way for people to make their data more valuable without sacrificing the privacy.
Awesome. No, thanks, Nick. And when I saw Flock.io as mentioned internally as being a potential Walrus and Sail partner, like my first reaction was that's amazing, because federated learning is to data privacy what Seal is trying to do with storage in general, and it's such an amazing combination. And I totally agree with you that apart from data privacy and security, a big benefit for end users is just access to really accurate and diverse models, which are trained from just data from all across the world globally, which is very hard to do today in the centralized world. So love what you folks are doing. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Awesome. So great set of use cases there. Again, thanks, Spiro, David, Roger, and Nick for taking the time to be with us here today. I'll just quickly check for any questions, if any. I don't think so. Oh, so what was that? Navi. So Nick mentioned Nami Cloud. So Nami Cloud is an infrastructure partner who provide S3 based API on top of Walrus, among other things. So they're ecosystem sort of participant for us. And let's see. Yeah, I think we're good here. Okay, cool. So just to wrap it up then, so Seal is on mainnet. If you are building AI with sensitive data, or you want clear programmable controls for who can decrypt, when, and why, Seal plus Walrus gives you a solid foundation. So check out the docs, try the examples, ping us in the Seal channel on Sui Discord, and we are happy to help you wire it up and go live. Thanks for hanging out today. Ciao.
Yeah. All right.
Bye-bye.